Ben writes something about how cool my channel is. Thanks, Ben, but this compliment isn't really necessary. Kidding, Ben, it is. Continue. He also states how he recently found this article highlighting the immaturity of some that push animal products. But before I tell you what you can find in this article, I have to explain the background of this whole thing to you. So while other big companies that sell animal corpses like KFC, McDonald's and Burger King are making the switch to plant-based alternatives, or at least trying to. I mean, the big giant company Tyson called her meat plant-based, but it actually has eggs in it or is blended with beef. I do not think plant-based means what you think it means, Tyson. So anyway, other companies completely failed to jump on the vegan bandwagon. And this included the fast food restaurant chain Arby's. In the article that Ben sent me, we learned that they are trying to fight the change. They've put out a vegetable that looks like meat. How original! Arby's brand executive chef called this move staying true to Arby's pro-meat brand. In my opinion, this is like a savage kindergarten child protesting about not wanting to eat vegetables and eating sweets secretly. What a mature company. But I think this is absolutely ridiculous to say the least. Here are 3 points that I want to get across today. Number 1. Change resistance. As a human, we have a natural resistance ingrained to avoid change. We don't like it, in fact, we hate it. The unknown is scary, and more often than not we would like to stick to a bad plan even if it inevitably means guaranteed disaster. For example, we stay with the partner that is detrimental to our well-being, we clock into a 9-to-5 job that leaves us mentally empty when we go home, and we don't change the habits that we know are destroying us. And talking about prawn consumption, alcohol and eating meat to the excess. We fail to understand that there's no perfect time to make a hard decision. Hard decisions are called hard decisions because guess what? They're hard to make in the first place. The meat-based carrot, also called Marrot, if it gets produced, would be specifically marketed to change-resistant beings. People that want to fight change instead of embracing and thriving in it. We need to realize that in life there's only one constant: change. Jim Taylor, the chief marketing officer of Arby's, was quoted as saying, "Plant-based meats are the latest incarnation of making vegetables look like what Americans really want, which is great, tasty meat." Really? What American millennials truly want, in my opinion, is a great tasting food that is healthy to their organism, that does not clog their arteries. Is this really too much to ask of our companies? If you ask people, they might tell you that they want to eat meat, but sometimes people do not know what they actually want. But don't take my word for it. I want to quote Henry Ford at this stage. If I asked people what they wanted, they would have said faster horses. Survey results mean nothing if you don't interpret the information the right way. A great marketer would interpret the urge for meat as an urge for protein-rich, great-tasting food. The CMO of the company that produces meat carrots then goes even further to claim, universally people know we're supposed to eat vegetables every day, but 90% of Americans don't eat the recommended amount. So we said if others can make meat out of vegetables, why can't we make vegetables out of meat? What? Go home, Jim, you're drunk. This quote is like saying, we know that people shouldn't drink and drive, so instead of making sure people drink non-alcoholic beverages when going out, we make alcoholic beverages that compete with the non-alcoholic beverages. Because f*** logic, that's why. I can go on and on here, but I think this company is a prime example that chooses number 2, profit over ethics. Just with the simple quote that Jim said, he confirmed the statement. I repeat, universally people know we're supposed to eat vegetables every day, but 90% of Americans don't eat the recommended amount. Just by analyzing this quote, we can understand that the company doesn't give a fuck about their customers' well-being, because they know that Americans follow bad habits and they're not intending to change it. In this way, I think we should follow Steve Jobs' example and judge people and companies entirely by the products that they make, and therefore how much they try to help people. A great example, in my opinion, is the Beyond Meat company and Tesla. Now before people tell me that I don't understand jokes, I can see that this marketing campaign is partly meant as a trolling activity, but I know that if it would get good appraisal by the masses, Arby's is the first company to bring this product into fruition. What I don't like about this corporate thing is that instead of encouraging a healthier alternative, they aim to draw people back into their unhealthy eating habits, even though they know that it's wrong. I honestly think companies like this are doomed to fail. Number 3, the meat irony. The irony of this entire marketing campaign is that one of the main ingredients that are responsible for the taste and carrot-like texture are actually plant matter. It's dried carrot juice powder. This is the stuff that is responsible for the distinctive appearance. It's not the turkey breast. Turkey breast tastes bland as far as I can remember. But what actually makes a meat product taste good is not the meat itself, it's the seasoning, which is almost universally plant matter. I've eaten enough chicken breast in my past to realize that bland chicken tastes like absolutely nothing. It's the plants that are responsible for the taste and not the meat. Conclusion: in my opinion, the marketing plot Marrot is doomed to fail. I think there's no need for meat-based vegetables, and most consumers are intelligent enough to realize that. Or at least I hope so. If we take a look at the behaviors of McDonald's and even KFC, they go into the way of adapting to the change and not fighting it. But instead, Arby seems to be number 1 change resistant, number 2 chooses profit over ethics, and number 3 doesn't realize that the thing responsible for the great tasty meat is actually plants. This is just plain ridiculous, or as Stephen Hawking once said, intelligence is the ability to adapt to change. The mission of this YouTube channel is to put veganism across the goal line. If you want to help us achieve that, like and subscribe to this channel, and don't forget to hit the bell icon. Let's make food production great again.